Hey, I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in. This is Real Talk Sports. I'm your host, Christopher Patrick, and my best friend and co-host, Anthony Weinkoop.
Hey, folks, how y'all doing?
All right, so we got some stuff we want to get into, but before we get into it, though, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and everybody that's liked our new page that we made today. It was actually quite difficult. Facebook is not an easy thing to navigate for us, so thank you guys for supporting and being there.
Really appreciate it, y'all. Really appreciate it.
So, before we get into the topics today, man, first of all, I want to say how you doing, Coop?
I'm doing all right, sir. I'm doing all right.
All right, let's get to it, man. So first thing on our list today, we want to talk about the Warriors in Portland. The Warriors just manhandled Portland. There was no question. Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum didn't even play in the fourth, really. They just gave up on it.
Yeah, from what I could see, to me, it's kind of like a role reverse. The Portland's bench was kind of, carrying them more than normal. Mm-hmm. And it's honestly kind of shocking that it was like, the Golden State Warriors bench was having a bad night, where Portland's bench was actually doing a lot of work. So, it's Portland and Golden State. It could be a playoff implication matchup, maybe. Not sure. And,
for sure.
I think on top of that, I think Golden State, that home court advantage, probably feeling the home court vibes, kind of, and plus, a little revenge.
When you haven't lost at home, of course you're feeling the vibe, and then after the All-Star break, going into Portland, the old PDX, and getting smacked by 30 points, leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
I'm sure they were very sour. Sour after that beat down that Portland game. But hey, the champs are the champs. They reload and tool. So
I think at the end of the day, this is a more important game for Portland than it is Golden State. Golden State obviously wants to keep their quest of the Bulls record, but I think this is more of a Damian Lillard statement. He's averaging 40 plus against Warriors. He wants to you get all these talks about, hey, you're like Curry, and he wants to establish who he is.
To me, it kind of seems disrespectful. No disrespect to Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry, obviously MVP, great player. I really think the media people should kind of cut that, just because I think Damian's trying to carve his thing his own way. But
they're two different players. Damian does shoot a lot of threes, but at the same time, his athletic ability is a lot different. The way he approaches the game is a lot different. Portland is guard heavy, extremely guard heavy, to the point where I don't like it. You got C.J. McCollum, your second best player, 18 points tonight. You got Damian Lillard, 17 points tonight. And then nobody else really comes in. You get your little 10 points here. You got a 7-3 Myers Leonard that just shoots threes, and it's disgusting.
Too many threes.
Too many
threes for my liking. But I guess it's product of the system, I guess.
The Terry Scott system?
Terry Scott was a Dallas Mavericks assistant, so I understand it in a way. But
True that. So, do you think the Warriors, do they break the Bulls' record? Is that something realistic, or do you even try for it at this point?
The way this NBA is, I really kind of don't think it's going to happen. I think Steve Kerr is going to probably pull the rest of people, kind of sit it down. Obviously they've already clinched the playoff spot. There's no way they're going to go any further than 4 if some weird, crazy things happen. I don't think they get it. I think he'll get into April. He'll start playing backups. He'll start resting people. But who knows? I could be wrong, but my personal opinion, I don't think they get it.
I do think they get it. I think their schedule favors them to get it. You only got to play San Antonio, I believe, one more time this season. You've already owned the Clippers in every possible way this season. That's another team. You don't have to play Portland. You don't have to play OKC. So really you got a bunch of East Coast teams. I think you still have Sacramento on that schedule. Detroit one more time. There's nothing about their schedule that says they can't do it. Now, if they start getting into, games where they're barely winning games, if they're still dominating games by 20 points, go for it. Because obviously these games are too easy. But if you're barely winning games where you're hitting overtime and, you're winning by like 5, you start worrying about health a little bit. Andre got a little bit banged up tonight.
Yeah.
Curry got a little banged up tonight. You start thinking about those players when it comes to playoff.
That's what I was just about to bring up. Do you run the risk of a team that kind of has nothing to play for? What if there's a 76er still on that roster or on that schedule that just kind of, and they try to take someone out? Like I said, maybe it's nobody important, but it's like a bottom guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I wouldn't say the 76ers. They just lost Okafor for the year with a knee injury.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a game you're probably going to win by 60 points now.
Probably.
Maybe 76 points.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Make Julius Erving very upset.
Now, with Portland, this is their third straight loss. I mean, they lost to Boston. They lost to Toronto, even though Damian Lillard had another 50-point game.
Fourth, they lost to Detroit.
Oh, they lost to Detroit. Yeah, exactly. And now to Golden State. So, they had a pretty comfortable lead in the sixth. They cut it down to half a game above Houston, above Dallas. And with Utah creeping, 3 games behind.
Yeah, I definitely think Portland needs to start a streak. Or praying that the other ones start losing too.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, there does need to be a streak going. They need to kind of get
some confidence. They need to start build some momentum. I mean, you don't want to go in. I mean, at this point, if you sneak in at the 8, Golden State's the last team you want to see in the first round.
Yeah. As a Portland fan, really wanting to see Portland at least stay at the 6. A matchup with the Thunder to me favors them a lot better. Even though it's something I think they could win.
Thunder got smacked by freaking Minnesota tonight.
Yeah.
So. I mean, Dang put in 28 points. Who was Dang?
Yeah. You don't know the big man?
I don't know him as well as I know Serge Ibaka.
That's another big man that Minnesota hid from everybody. So
I would like that matchup against OKC. OKC, I mean, has the worst fourth quarter, leading going into the fourth and losing the game in the league. I mean, Kevin Durant, Westbrook have not been sensational in the fourth quarter. Matter of fact, they've probably been the worst duo in the fourth quarter. They've given up too many games. It's too much isolation over there. Yeah. Not enough defense. I mean, they got some issues. If I'm any team, that, first of all, OKC is going to sneak into a top seed. They're going to be anywhere from, the 3rd to 4th seed.
Yeah.
I'd want to slip into that 6th spot because I'd rather face the Clippers or OKC in the playoffs to start the first round if you have any chance of, getting to the second round.
Yeah.
Still probably not going to, but I like my chances there. To keep it on the NBA. Kobe versus LeBron. I know this happened last night, but I want to touch bases on this because this is the last time they'll ever meet in their career. What do you think about the game? I mean, what is strike?
To me, it looked like two guys that obviously had Olympic experience, going at each other. And obviously the simple fact that LeBron knows this is Kobe's last matchup against him. They both kind of went toe-to-toe, kind of like heavyweight fighters.
I think Kobe won that fight.
I believe he did.
He lost the game, but I think he won the fight.
Kobe had very good flashy moves, good jumpers. LeBron did have a nice throw. JR threw it off the lob, the back.
Caught it with the left hand, put in.
So I definitely think both guys went out there and gave the fans what they wanted. But, I mean, as far as, like, their, matchups throughout their career, obviously two legends of the game going at it toe for toe. And so, I mean, it's definitely one of those matchups that's going to be missed, but,
at the end of the day, it looked like Kobe could still play for another year, being a shooter. Yeah. I think he just doesn't believe in Jim Buss and the LA Lakers going to be at that championship. He's probably looking at it like, man, I would stay, but we're not going to win a championship anytime soon, and it'd just be a waste of time. I'm going to take my money, I'm going to go home.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, on top of that, I don't think he wants to be the old fossil on a young team trying to go through the rebuilding stage and this and that. I mean, obviously, he could pad stats all day if he wanted to, but who really wants to be chasing around, guys and then dealing with
I truly feel that if he wasn't injured the last couple of years, he'd be the all-time NBA leading scorer. No doubt about it.
I think the problem he has, too, is if he wasn't so super-duper heavy on his money, he'd also have some help.
Yeah, that 2-year, $40 million?
Yeah,
they owe it to him, because who else they paying?
They owe it to him, but he could have took a little bit of a cut to at least get him a little bit better help.
I don't mind it. I mean, these are the last 2 years of your NBA career. There's nobody they're paying. I mean, they went, and got Roy Hibbert. They got Carlos Boozer a couple years back and ended up cutting him anyways. I mean, Jordan Clarkson was probably your best player at the time. I mean, and then you go ahead and take Russell in the second pick, which, I mean, he could have fell to, in my opinion, a lottery pick at this point. I mean,
took Jahlil Okafor at that second pick.
But. You could have. I mean, I did like seeing what, Randall did last night. I mean, he's shown that he can actually come in and produce a little bit. I mean, that dunk was nasty.
Well, he is. He's also, he had that whole season off last year, so also this is basically like his first rookie year too. So he's kind of going through the growing pains and understanding how to play the game. So I think he's definitely going to be one of the key young guys.
Yeah,
for the Lakers.
I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, if you can, unfortunately, I was heavy on Roy Hibbert when he came out because I like my Georgetown center, so I was real heavy on him. I just don't think there's any room for him in the NBA at this current moment. I mean, as far as, he's just too slow.
Well, he's got the big man dinosaur problem. He kind of obviously needs to drop a little weight. I mean, I still like the big physical centers. It's just getting up and down that court at like 270, 280 is obviously starting to wear on him.
Yeah. So we're going to, switch pace a little bit. We're going to head to the NFL. Denver signed Mark Sanchez. They did a nice little trade.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Is Mark Sanchez your starter, or do you still look for a quarterback at this point?
If I'm John Elway, I gotta be still trying to trade or at least find somebody. It's a good bandage covered right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is
for sure.
He is a solid backup. He was a solid starter for the Jets for the longest. But you still got to be thinking, if he is your starter, you got to be drafting somebody in this year's draft. Either it means you got to trade up to try to get someone, or you're praying and hoping that maybe Von Miller actually said Johnny Manziel. No, but I mean, hey, at this point, you might have to look into the hat of even Fitzpatrick. Maybe
I would love to see Fitzpatrick come, but my question with that is, you let Brock Osweiler go to the Texans for $72 million because you didn't want to pay him. You wanted to give him $40.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't accept that. I don't, signing Fitzpatrick, I don't think you're going to save much money. I think he's going to want around the same ballpark. So the whole idea of letting Brock go is because you didn't want to pay that money.
Yep.
Fitzpatrick, he's already turned down a Jets offer that was pretty nice, and he calls it backup money.
Yep.
So, Mark Sanchez is a great bandage because you're not, in the system that Denver runs where it's defensive heavy, with the CBs, Chris Harris Jr., Twylee on the other side, DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller. You can kind of do the Trent Dilfer thing where you're throwing in a quarterback just to game manage, and Mark Sanchez can game manage.
Let me throw this at you now, sir. Are they going to be able to get their running back also? I know the Dolphins have him on an offer sheet.
You know what? I think they do. I think they matched the offer. C.J. Anderson was huge for him last year. When Peyton Manning was throwing ducks,
yeah, basically,
you gave the ball to C.J.
Yeah,
he got you your 8 yards. Mm-hmm. He made the throws easier because it made it where Peyton Manning didn't have to throw 15 yards because he struggled. Anything past 15 yards, we can go all day with the stats last year of him. Anything past 15 yards looked like the guy was going to break his own neck.
Yeah.
So when you had a running back that can get you, 3rd and 2 or 2nd and 5, and all you have to do is make that 7, yard throw to Thomas, it made life a lot easier. Mark Sanchez obviously doesn't have, the Peyton Manning arm strength. It's better. He's going to be able to throw down further, but you still want to make his job easy.
Well, on top of that, you got him for a 7th round pick. That's all it really was, and so it's like, even if he's just a 1-year bandage, even if he's just a 1-year guy, you get a late round quarterback that you're looking to build. You can't go wrong.
And that's the thing with this year's draft. There's going to be a lot of late round quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. There's not many that are projected to go in the first or second.
Out there, Vernon Adams from Oregon. Of
course, you would throw out Vernon Adams.
Of course, you would. They project him as a 5th or 7th round guy. So that's there's someone right there.
I hear you. So we got the RG3, we got Kaepernick. Where's the landing spot? Let's start with RG3. Where do you think he goes? He was going to go to the Texans. Obviously, Brock Osweiler came and took his luggage. So where does he end at this point?
I think the Dallas Cowboys need themselves a viable backup, and I really think RG3 would be perfect there.
Jerry World would do something like that.
I think it'd be something on top of that. It'd rally Baylor fans to go down there also. He was a big-time Baylor guy. So I think RG3 goes with the Cowboys. Kaepernick, I think he stays with Frisco, but they may trade his butt to the Browns.
Yeah. RG3 looks like where I would like to see him, I'd like to see him in St. Louis. I mean, I don't think they're really sold on Nick Foles.
Or L.A.
Or,
LA
yeah, quote and unquote, L.A. in the next 2 years. But, I mean, I would like to see him there. I think he'd be a good fit there. I think it'd be not a high media-oriented franchise, so you're not going to get a lot of media attention over there. Not terribly a big market team, but a team that can definitely make some noise. I mean, defensively, they are legit. That's where I would like to see him. Where I think he'll end up actually, I think he'll end up going to Cleveland Browns. I don't think Kaepernick goes to Cleveland. I think they'll want too much for Kaepernick. I think he stays in San Francisco, whether he's the starting quarterback or not. Chip Kelly, who knows what that guy wants to do half the time. I mean, he thinks he's a mastermind. But at the end of the day, I mean, Blaine Gabbett's probably still your preseason starter, and they're going to let him battle it again. But they want too much for Kaepernick. They want a second round and probably even a third.
They definitely said that they set the bar high. They definitely want high value for Kaepernick because obviously they still believe he's high value. I don't know. I really don't see the Browns trading that high because, I mean, especially with them, quote unquote, being the top pick to get this.
We still got Josh McCown over there. I mean, I don't think.
Now you still even got Connor Shaw, who was a good quarterback out of South Carolina. There's options there, but I don't think Kaepernick gets traded at all. But
unfortunately, this year you're not going to hear too much about Tebow mania. I think train has rid. So,
Tim Tebow to the Broncos.
Tim Tebow to the Broncos. Wouldn't that be the day? He did lead them to a playoff game. He did beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Throwing over 300 yards. I mean, I personally like it, but not going to happen. So in the NFL, a lot of moves were made. Some teams made some noise. Some teams stayed actually too quiet for my likings. What was the best free agent move so far?
I'll give you two teams. Jacksonville Jaguars, I think, really did well by reloading up on a lot of their defense and even offense. Getting Chris Ivory.
Chris Ivory was huge.
Getting the safety from the Browns. I mean, they loaded up. Even getting the D tackle from the Broncos. Loading up there. And also the New York Giants. A lot of people are going to be kind of surprised, but the Giants, they loaded up on defense a lot too. I think they're really trying to take that division with the simple fact that the Redskins are kind of shaky. Cowboys, obviously the Eagles did some stuff too, but those are my two teams. I think the Jaguars and I think the Giants really kind of, in my mind, won free agency.
Well, it's going to sound a little cliche to me, but I'm a Raiders fan,
obviously.
But I'm going to go ahead and say the Raiders made the biggest splash. I mean, you picked up KO from Baltimore. You build up that line where Derek Carr was only sacked 7 times, so he wasn't getting touched at all last year. Now he's really not going to get touched.
Yeah.
Then you went ahead and got Bruce Irving from Seattle, which, we already have the Seattle defensive coordinator.
Yep.
We already got a couple pieces from Seattle last year to build our defense that helped out a lot. Then you're going to get Sean Smith from KC to replace Charles Woodson, which that was my biggest question. Our secondary was getting ripped last year. How do we approach that? We still got some valuable, CBs coming out of the draft that we could still load up on. I think we still got a lot of cash. I mean, that was my biggest thing. With all the cash we're sitting on $60 million, I mean, we better been tipping our hat everywhere.
Yeah.
Even if we got nobody out of the deal, if we weren't throwing cash around a little bit, we're wasting our time. Yeah. So, I mean, that was, to me, the biggest winner so far. Obviously, there's still a lot left with the draft, with, Menzel being released today. I mean, who knows where he goes, if he goes anywhere. I mean, I think he probably sits out a year. Greg Hardy, if he goes somewhere, I mean, and I may be beating a dead horse, but I mean, Ray Rice is still out there. I mean, does a team, maybe take their chances there?
I definitely think, I've been thinking Ray Rice should have got at least like a training camp invite, sit on a 90-man roster. I mean, granted, before all that stuff happened, he was kind of having a down little bit of the season, but he was still a very productive back for Baltimore. He worked hard. He was a good runner.
Well, maybe this year he'll get into the veterans compound, and see what he can manage there. See if he can revive his career a little bit. I think he still has a lot left in the tank. But we'll see. Yeah. We'll definitely see. Well, Coop, I mean, it was a great conversation. We'll definitely continue this with some more news. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Remember, this is Real Talk Sports. Like our page, comment, and let's get to the debate.
Oh, yeah. Have a good night, Philly.
All right. Peace out.